Hey Star Citizens, it's Mr. Draindock here again with my redo, I should say, of my first Star Citizen video. I decided to redo it from the last time, and I'm probably gonna miss points that I made last time in my other video, but I couldn't just leave that other video the way that it is. Just the audio is terrible, and I don't think the video is actually much better. So I just had to redo it. I don't know if I'll leave up the old one and just add this one or take the old one down or whatever. But anyway, on to Star Citizen and my particular hangar here at the Rebel in York. I just have um, my take on certain things on this video, some questions that I have that maybe whoever views this video could leave some comments just to answer my questions if there are questions or are answers to my questions, I should say. This in this particular hangar, I have the, as of course you can see in front of you, the Phoenix variant of the Constellation. I have the Cutlass Red here, which I got as soon as that variant was available. I probably have more to say about that than any of them, but I also have the Freelancer Max sitting over there with one of the first ships I got outside of the Phoenix. The Constellation at that time, it was, at this point I don't even remember what the heck it was called. It wasn't even called the Andromeda, I don't think at that point, but anyway, let's just jump right into it. First thing I had with the last one was, we all know that this is the, I guess, P-52 Merlin that is currently in this as the extra defensive, supposed to be a defensive ship, which seems a little bit silly because if you happen to have like a couple Super Hornets that are attacking you, you have no chance in this defensive ship. Merlin or the Kruger P, I think it's the Kruger P-72, those are, as far as I'm concerned, escape ships is what they're meant for. I know they're supposed to be this defensive ship, but I don't see it. I'd rather have the Class 9 guns that I'll discuss later. This cargo hold, I know it doesn't open. I sure wish it did like the others did, just to get a half of an idea or clue as to how large of a cargo space it is, because I believe it's called the Lynx rover that comes with this. I'd like to know how large that Lynx rover is. Is it going to be anywhere near the size that the rover is for the Aquila? Because that six-wheeled, which seems to be like a behemoth of a rover, I don't know if it's going to be that the Lynx is going to be the same size as that one. Is it going to be smaller? Is it going to be more luxurious? You know, to go and it's going to be like the Cadillac of rovers, since this is sort of like the Cadillac of constellations or Mercedes or whatever you want to compare it to, I guess. But my biggest concern, my point is that what kind of cargo space are we losing because of the rover on either scenario, whether it was on the Aquila or on this Phoenix variant? And I'm only discussing the Phoenix variant because that's the ship I have, but they're definitely going to lose cargo space, I get it, but how much are you actually losing? I understand that, you know, right out the gate, this cargo is a lot smaller than it is on the other variants of the Constellation, and that's fine. But how much smaller is what I'd like to know. As I recall, supposedly, and I could be wrong about this, but supposedly just the cargo space in this ship, I think, is supposed to be more than that ship, if I'm not mistaken, but I probably am mistaken. But that's probably without the rover in the cargo hold. Then you add that rover, and I mean, I got my gray cat sitting over there. You can see the little red lights. I'm hoping the Linux, I'll keep wanting to call that rover the Linux. Lynx, I believe is what it's called, is nothing that small, but yet nothing as big as the other rover that's on the Aquila that I can never remember the name of. So yeah, that's my whole thought on that. Bottom turret. I've been seeing in forums, different threads, Star Citizen stuff, that there is actually supposed to be a bottom turret to this ship, which I'm a little confused on because what's there now is some kind of a cargo hold. It's not very large, but it's supposed to be maybe some kind of supposed secret cargo hold. But I don't know what kind of secret it is. If every other person in this game has a Phoenix, it's not much of a secret. Maybe it's secret from the NPCs, which I guess makes sense, but if there's supposed to be a bottom turret to this, why is it not in there now? And if there is going to be a finalized bottom turret, where does then the secret cargo hold go? Do they move it back? Do they do away with it completely? My feeling is that it does not have a bottom turret. It only has the top turret because of this secret cargo hold. And if you have this battery automated defensive class 9 gun on this ship, there's really no need for that bottom turret, I wouldn't think. But because that's supposed to have some heavy, hard-hitting firepower to it, the class 9 weapon, so I'm not entirely sure about that either, but let's go do what I did in the previous video and move my elevator all the way up there. Oh boy, this is going to be a bit. Anyway, like I said in my other video, I'm sure guys. There's an artifact. There's something going on in there. I didn't notice that. Anyway, I don't know if other videos have shown this. It's not like I've seen every Star Citizen video that out there, but the ones that I have seen, I've never seen this perspective or point of view of the constellation, and I'm not even sure you can do it with another ship because the constellation sticks out so far. But I just wanted to show the top of the ship in much closer detail. Like I say, I'm sure others have done this, and I just haven't seen it, so, you know.
With the owner of the 350
Oh, and incidentally, what I just did, which I did not mention on my first mess-up video, is what I just did there. I've had others comment in other videos that I've seen, would that kill me once the game is done? Because I believe they were on that particular ship and they had accidentally fallen off, showing the different things on the top of the ship. And they had mentioned would I have broken my leg or, you know, sprained my ankle or whatever. And the way I see it, yes. If this is supposed to be a simulation game, how far are they going with it? I made a comment in the original video that was messed up. Do you go to the bathroom in this game? Do we have to go to the bathroom? And if you don't, your bowels will explode, or your bladder will pop, or you know what I'm saying? I mean, you'll develop sepsis, go into septic shock. I mean, I don't know how far they're going with this, and I think I made the joke about, you know, maybe our next $1 million mark. That's what they'll put in the game, that you actually have to eat. You actually have to do these things as a normal, everyday, like you would in real life. Are they going to go that far with it? Personally, I can see the aspect of getting hurt. You know, I walk over to the edge of my ship here, bam, maybe I didn't break my leg, but got hurt, okay? I can see that easily. But in regards of going to the extent of we really need to eat, we really need to use the bathroom, we really need to take a shower. Excuse me. I think that might be going a little overboard, but at the same time, how much of an immersive experience do you really want?
planet
You
side
know, and I don't know that
receivers.
anyone has an answer to that question, but I don't know if the devs do at this point. But anyway, moving on. Lightsaber, which I mentioned in my last, that's what it looks like to me, or at least part of a lightsaber.
Would a
It's been
TED
jammed through the roof.
representative please contact
I don't know
landing
if there's been
platform
a
authority?
Jedi Knight around here somewhere, or a Sith Lord or something, but, and that was what I was going to show, see if there's some way to see. I could go inside to see if there's a way to see that light going through, but in fact, it's probably that light there. But it's just like a hollowed out inside, and so it's bright enough to reflect. I don't know. It's too technical, I guess. Dockings. You got one docking there. I'm only looking for over here, but we'll go around this one. We'll end up falling off. Docking there, and then one on the other side. I know there's going to be these docking collars, okay, and I can only assume that these things are going to extend up, extend out, because there's no way you're docking a ship to this ship or any other ship for that matter right literally to the ship. There's going to have to be some kind of a sleeve collar, I'm assuming, that goes, I don't know how far up, I don't know how far out, because my original concern was you land this here, let's say you land it directly to this airlock, there's no way that this top turret is then opening to defend the ship. If it lands this direction, then you get concerned about the wing hitting it. So that's all I can presume, is that these collars extend up, out, in this case, the way these three docking collars are. And then my next question is, can you have 3 ships docked to this ship at one time? I don't see why you couldn't. Why would you want to do that, I guess, would be the initial, but I just would like to try it and see if it would even work. And then can you fly around with them? I understand in space there's no gravity. Maybe there's extra weight, even though there really wouldn't be weight, but maybe the thrusting of the constellation would change because you have all these ships hooked to it. But then once you enter an atmosphere of a planet, whether that gravity, who knows what the gravity is going to be on an alien planet. Let's just assume you're going into Earth's gravity, unless that gravity is changed in the future. All of a sudden, all that weight bears down, which you probably couldn't have all those ships then, of course, on your ship. They would just probably snap right off or burn up in, entering Earth's atmosphere. Who knows? But yeah, that's another stupid, silly question I guess I have, is how all that's going to work. My peeping Tom view of inside the luxuriousness of the Phoenix, although some of the luxury is a little confusing at best. Hot tub, which I guess I get, but shower I don't get. Floors will be warped in a month. Beautiful $1 million floor destroyed. If we're talking about the simulation of a game and the reality of a situation, that's the reality. Unless those are some heck of waterproof floors. And I understand this is extremely early. Everyone keeps saying this is alpha, alpha, alpha. I don't even consider this alpha at this stage. This is more pre-alpha. But I'm hoping that there will be variants to variant ships, meaning that, okay, this is the Constellation Phoenix variant, but then there is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 different variant choices of your internals or your externals, or, instead of having all this here, it still could be luxury, but it could be a different type of luxury where those tables are gone, the chairs are gone. You could make it like a bar atmosphere, like a lounge. You could make it, pretty much anything you wanted, really. But I'm assuming that this is they're just giving you a rough design as to what this is going to look like. And then I mentioned before in my other video about transporting cargo, and that not all cargo is inanimate objects. Cargo can be people, and I didn't mean that in a negative way, like slave trading, which I will not be doing, anything like that. But you're going to have, more than likely, important people in this game, NPCs or not, who are, senators or imperial people or kings or queens or who knows, and they won't come with you, or they won't give you your $1 million reward for taking them from one side of the universe to the other unless you have a luxury ship for them to be in. So there's that. And I've heard those comments too, and I'm just agreeing with those. The rear back here, I've been told, or not told, but I've seen things that this Class 9 battery defensive weapon, automatic defensive weapon, is supposed to be mounted in the rear, which seems to me it would be a fixed weapon then, because if that gun is automated to the ability where it's like swiveling like 360 degrees, the chances is that gun is going to hit your ship is pretty good, because it's going to try to be locking on the missiles hitting it, so that the chances it's going to be a fixed weapon, I would say, is pretty good, unless possibly maybe that's what these pods are, the little round / oval egg-shaped pods. Maybe those are going to be the Class 9 defensive weapon that is actually going to be horrible, or it's going to be considered one weapon, but they all work simultaneously as to one thing. I don't know. And at this point, I'm not sure that anybody knows, but it's just sort of my take on it, that I don't even know what those pods even are. Are they for the shields of the ship? Are they for sensors, scanners? No clue. Leave me your comments if you even watch this video. Maybe what your opinions are. Overall, the wood bit. I forgot the wood. Wood paneling. I'm sure it's just a glitch. It's just, it's a fancy schmancy ship with wood on the outside of the ship. I'm just hoping that did not mean to do that, because I wanted to show you this is a good thing. Maybe I can see the wood from this side. Yep, you sure can. Right there. The wood railings there. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Look at that. It's the first time I'm seeing this. There's wood there. Huh! I never noticed that before. Is it here too? Yeah. Sorry. I never noticed that before. Oh man, I got a frickin' ship made of wood. How well does wood hold up in space, I wonder? Yeah, I'm just praying that that's pre-alpha right there. Bam. Please let that be pre-alpha. Or alpha, whatever it's supposed to be. Okay, I think I'm moving on now. Cutlass Red. A rescue, recovery, ambulance, fire truck, whatever you want to call it. There it is. I think it's a really good looking ship. It's supposed to be like really super maneuverable. I'm not probably the greatest pilot in the world, which I will not be doing dogfighting and all that, because I would do nothing but die. But I'm going to be more, I can't completely say that I'm going to just strictly be doing this. I'm more than likely going to be spending the majority of my time in the Phoenix, of course. But when it comes around, I'm probably going to be spending the majority of the time in my Reclaimer, honest. But I will more than likely give this a shot, just to see what it's like. Again, I made in my first video, those of you could hear it and see it, just different comments I had about this. First of all, it wasn't first of all in the last video, but these little pot guys, what are they? Are they extra guns? Are those tractor beams? Now that I look at it, they look like they're tractor beams. Maybe there, I don't know. Maybe there are other types of guns, but it's been my thought process that no gun is allowed, not allowed, should be on this ship. All this ship needs is the strongest possible shields you can get in the game. Are those class 9s, class 10s, class 100s? And again, like I said in the original video, that doesn't mean that this ship is going to be indestructible. It's just going to take a lot more punishment and or abuse than a typical ship would, and it should. It should. Because there are going to be those guys out there, those pains in the arses, that go after the ship just because. Because I don't even know who I've seen so many videos on Star Citizen. It's like, I don't know who said it, but they had said the same thing, that it's sort of pointless to even attack the ship like this, because what are you gaining other than maybe getting the ship, just killing to kill, being an arse? I mean, because other than maybe getting the ship itself, if it's not completely destroyed by the time you get it, or maybe getting medical supplies and then selling them on the black market, something I probably just gave a bunch of guys a reason to attack this ship now. I don't see why you do that. And then it's this defensive gun that's on it is just, I don't understand. Don't get me wrong. I completely understand you need a defensive weapon on this ship, but at the same time, I think it's just a waste. I mean, I would rather that this be a big fire hose or a foam shooter or something to put a fire out, or a tow cable. It fires a tow cable, hits the big door over there. You know, you reel someone in, something like a lifeline or like a big life preserver on the end of it or something, you know. I'd rather see that than a gun on it. But again, all this is just my opinion, which of course will not be heard. But anyway, I'm showing this button too because I've seen different guys online not even knowing how to get into their ship. That's how you do it. Front left landing gear, big blue button, push it. I don't think these, like I said in the original video, I don't think that these buttons have moved since this ship, the Cutlass, the original Cutlass, was built, or you could get in it. Another button, you push it, bam, use, hit it, door coming down, gap on door, not touching ground. Is that good, bad, or indifferent? Seems to me, like I said in the other video, 2 to 3 inches off the ground. Like I say, I don't know if it's that big of an issue. Like I say, you don't trip on it when you go in and out of the up and down the ramp, so I don't think it's that big of an issue, but it's just something that I pointed out that I had seen no one else point out. Like I said in my other video, or my messed up video, cleanliness is next to godliness, or godliness is next to cleanliness, whatever you want to say. I've heard many comments about the shiny floor. Why is it so shiny? There's oil on it. This is a sterile environment. Surgeries will be going on here. Like I said, there will be blood everywhere. I don't know about blood everywhere, but you know, this is an OR. It's an emergency room, is what it is. So you're gonna have people with a metal splinter in their finger, and you're gonna have people with a chunk of metal stuck in their head. You know what I'm saying? So this is a sterile environment. That's why everything's shiny and clean. Like I said, if anything you need on this ship is a janitor or a bunch of mops and buckets with disinfectant chemicals, because, yeah. Auto doctors. Oh look, I never noticed that. Those little buttons there. Should I go get in my head? I don't get stuck. See this side, yeah, that side has it too. Auto docks, and I know there's auto docks like more buttons there. Keep cutting myself off. Did they just add that, or I'm just not that observant, I guess.
Please report the administration office.
Yeah, I know there's auto docking. You know, you ask for permission to land, or you push a button on your keyboard and it automatically docks you
Please
to
retrieve your
whatever
boarding pass from the
facility
customer
and or
service
ship
desk.
you're driving to, so you don't slam your ship into the facility or other ship. Completely understand it, get it. But to me, these are auto doctors. Better yet, they're auto surgeons, because they will literally do surgery on you, like I said in my other video. They'll amputate a leg, they'll repair an internal organ, they'll, you know, to an extent. I mean, it's not gonna, like it's going to give you a new leg or something. It's just going to keep you alive, you know, as best as it can. And you can have up to 10 guys on this ship at one time. And when I mean 10 guys, I don't mean the crew. I mean injured, rescued patients. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 places that people can either be waiting for surgery or have already had surgery. 2 more having surgery. There's 10. 1, 2 crews for the bunks here. And then your 2 pilots up front. Why won't my door open? Door. Co-pilot and pilot. Is that a
Please
weird
check with the landing attendant for fuel
It's
and
like an
repair
air
session.
display that's not on. Yeah. So,
DEA representative, report
and
to
then I
Hangar 4.
mentioned before, I'm thinking that's why that this ship has no toilets on it, sinks, showers, none of that, simply because this is not a,
With the owner of the freelancer,
what do I want to say? I don't want to say like a long-term ship. It's a ship that's not meant for long voyages. That's why I'm convinced that these blue bunks are not for the crew. Can they be for the crew? Can the crew sleep in it? Well, of course so.
Please check with the
But
landing attendant for fuel and repair
I'm convinced
specialist.
it's for strictly for patients and the crew sit in those seats. This is not a ship that's meant to be out in space for extremely long periods of time. That's why there's no toilets. Now, how you're supposed to go to the toilet, even when you're working on an ambulance or rescue vehicle as this, then I guess you've got to step outside or you go in a Dixie cup or something. I don't know. And then again, like I mentioned when I was standing up over onto the Phoenix, is going to the restroom even a thing in this game? Eating, just hygiene in general. I can't really imagine they're going to go that far. But, like I say, we get another $1 million. Hard to say, you know? Maybe it'll just be a choice that you do those things. Maybe you absolutely have to. I don't know. That's my thought back here, like it was in the other video. Here, real quick. Guys are saying this is storage. It very well may be. Maybe these somehow fold out and make a little table. Not a clue. My take on it is that these are the rescue baskets that come out of rescue helicopters, such as the National Guard use. National Guard. I think I said National Guard in the other video too. Coast Guard. They have a 4-point harnessing setup on them, but the only reason or only way I see these working is extracting victims from water. So if you have, you know, of course, water on Earth, even though I've heard that I think water on Earth is supposed to be not as abundant as it used to be or something like that. I'm probably wrong about that, but I thought I read that somewhere. Anyway, water on any other type of planet. You know, you're not going to land your ship in the water. I mean, I think that might be a bad thing. That's just me. Unless you have big pontoons on it that come out the sides or flotation devices. But that would be the only scenario, and I find it funny how there are 8 of these. Oopsie, a little close. 4, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4. So 8 of these and 8 of those. Coincidence? I think not. Anyhow. That's my thought on that. Of course, you can't use
All
that
arriving
stuff,
personnel
and I
must
don't see how
clear
you
the
would use
planetary
those safety
customs before
baskets in
exiting
space.
the
But
hangar.
let's see. I guess I'll go out here. I think I touched on before a little bit on the original
All arriving
video
personnel
that
must clear the planetary customs before
everyone
exiting
and
the
their
hangar.
brother has been up to here before, and they have the what's believed to be what's believed to be the air conditioning unit, sensors
The
to
set
see
planetary
people out in
ecosystem.
space that need
Please
help, big
consult the orders and
spotlights.
equipment for
So that's
deployment.
pretty much really the end of this. There is this light thing here that was pointed out from
All
some
arriving
guy. I don't know
personnel
what that is.
must
That like
clear the planetary
flashes and goes
customs
woo
before
woo
exiting
woo,
the
or
hangar.
like like a siren and stuff. Although, like in Aliens, I don't think they hear you scream in space, so I don't know if can noise be travel in a vacuum. I don't know. See, there's one on that side too. Flashing lights. Meaner, 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 meaner. You know, that type of thing. Yeah, I think I've exhausted everything on this ship, finally. The whole gun bit again, guys, I just don't understand on this ship. I mean, don't get me wrong, I understand the concept of the defensive
TDD
weapon, but
representative
what the heck
reporting to
that
Hangar
thing
1.
is doing against, like I say, you're going against a squadron of Super Hornets, you might as well just eject or just kill yourself or because you're going to die. There's no way
Check
you're
with the
getting
customer
around
service
that
desk for
unless
personal hangar
you've got what I'm
options.
talking about, these super superior awesome shields. And like I said in the original vehicle, these shields don't have to be ridiculous in the
Fire
sense of that
control
you
team
can never
immediately
be
report to Hangar
destroyed
4.
because that's
Repeat,
ridiculous,
fire control
but at
team to
least
Hangar
enough
4.
to get rescue your rescuee, bring him into the ship
During
and
launch,
haul
for your
arse
own
out of there,
safety, do not
and
deviate from planned traffic
sustain
lanes.
little to no damage because you can just take more damage than the next guy, or you know what I'm saying? So that's my thought on that. Doesn't mean really bupkis, I guess.
Unattended
But
cargo will
one
be
last thing.
confiscated.
Oh, there is one point as I'm coming over here to the freelancer. I only really had one thing to ask or say about the freelancer Max over here, but there's something I wanted to discuss that I was discussing in the first video,
TDD
that
representative
maybe you could
reporting to
hear or
Hangar
probably not
17.
hear more than likely, is the whole bit. I don't know what you want to see as I'm talking. The Phoenix looks better. The whole bit about NPCs, AIs in this game. Okay,
Please be advised of imminent
I heard the
adverse
other
weather
day that there's
conditions.
actually going to be a variation to online gameplay to where it's not going to be
Attention, all
person
floaters
versus
must
person,
remain
it's going to
engaged at
be
all times.
NPC versus person, meaning you can still exist in the verse outside of single player, I'm saying, outside of Squadron 42, but you're only going
Respect the
against
planetary
NPCs
ecosystem.
slash
Please consult
AIs.
local authorities
You're
for
not going
prohibited
against other
or
players,
deployment.
which I sort of like that aspect to a degree. It would be nice, sort of like almost like a
Maintenance,
practice
please
run,
report to public restrooms.
um, for that experience. But then I'm sure after a while, I would just gradually, go over to
Please check with the landing
person
area for
versus
fuel
person.
and repair specials.
And then some, of course, NPCs are going to be thrown into that mix, of course. Um, but
Attention,
my biggest
deployed restrooms
concern
are
are
for employees
are the
only. Public
NPCs
restrooms
and
are
their
available in the remaining
abilities
hangar.
slash intelligence, piloting abilities. Um, Not so much NPCs,
With the
bartenders,
owner of the Hornet,
traders,
Red Tag
gas
ID
station attendants, whatever.
42C4
I'm talking about
XYJ.
NPCs that you
Please contact
hire or
administration office.
supposedly can hire to be a part of your crew. Because not everybody, I know I don't. I got one friend so far and 7 ships. So either I have
No
too
local
little
privilege
friends or
can
too
be
many
communicated
ships.
from the flight deck.
And so it's like, I'm probably going to need a lot of NPCs. But my concern with this is that how dumb are these NPCs going to be? Because believe me, guys, I've played a lot of games that dealing with a lot of AIs and NPCs over the years, and most times they do more harm than good. And so it's like, are they really going to do what you tell them to do, or not tell, or don't do a certain thing? How good of pilots are they supposed to be? And is all this based upon maybe how good your character is? That, and I'm not even sure there's an answer to all that yet. I'm just sort of throwing it out there because that's one of the more major key points for those of us who don't have 100 friends playing this game that can be manned by physical human beings in the game. You know what I'm saying? Not physical human beings, but you know what I'm saying. That it just really concerns me, because no way is an NPC ever going to have the ability that a human does. There's probably going to be some limitation there, unless that NPC is like a level 1,000,000 and he's, like the god NPC, which that's probably not even going to exist. But anyway, that's my thought on that. Leave comments about that. This next question I have about the freelancers, I gotta go inside for it because I gotta get to the cargo bay, and this will be the last thing of this another long video. But I just sort of wanted to redo this video from the last one I had was atrocious, and I think I'm hitting on key points. Like I said in my last video, I love the way this is one of my favorite things so far in the game, is just how this ramp comes down, how it extends like that. It's just awesome. Like I said in my last video, let me turn around here. Can you fly an M50 in here and land it and have it in here? I don't think so. My friend thinks otherwise, but unless those wings on the M50 somehow collapse inwards for storage, you're not getting it in here. And then once you do get something like it, or you attempt to get it in here, how do you get it in here? Does it just, again, auto dock in here? Do you physically have to fly it in here? And then I don't know how you're flying a ship when its wings are collapsed. Can we roll it in here? I mean, we're going to have like pallet jacks or a forklift or something that pushes or drags it up in here. Maybe the gray cat can do that. Because you have to be able to transport other ships in this game. You have to. Maybe that's what the whole docking thing of I'm trying to look at the Phoenix. It's hard to look at the Phoenix, but maybe that's what the whole docking thing is for, or the docking collars, is that is where you're connecting the ship to it. But it seems to me that you can actually haul ships within ships. Like when the Reclaimer comes out, I understand the next big ship that I would really be interested in would be the Hull C, but somehow I'm feeling that the price tag of that thing is going to be just so ludicrous that I'm just going to just frighten me away, and it's not going to happen. That has like 9,000 cargo units, but the Reclaimer in total now, I'm talking about the cargo space of the Reclaimer, and then the space where you put your salvage. That entire space is something like 22,500 cargo units. I mean, that is way more than the Hull C. I mean, if you could, and again, can you even further into the game, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20 years from now, adjust that accordingly? I can make that entire thing of storage or cargo space. So that makes the Reclaimer way more cargo space than the Hull C. I think I got off topic there because I was talking about landing at the M50 in here, and then I lost track and started talking about the Reclaimer, which I'm just in love with. I just go look at the picture of the Reclaimer every now and then. It's just, and I haven't even seen it up close. This thing here was originally pointed out by I don't remember who. That is just, I'm sure it serves a purpose. outside of shaving, I don't know why this this has to be something. I don't know why it's shiny, but for whatever reason it drives me nuts. I don't know what it is, but anyways. I think that's going to be the end of this video, guys. Jeez, I'm inside out. Oh my goodness. Let me see something here real quick. This poor guy. That poor guy. Yeah, I added some things to my hangar that I didn't have before. I got a couple of the posters. I don't know if any of you have ever even seen all this before. I guess I could run through my hangar here real quick and show this to you. If any of you even have any of this in your hangar, maybe you do, and this is just a waste of time, but this is the workshop table thing here. I'm not going to show you the little lamp that I bought because it's an absolute joke. It's sitting clear up there on the other side of the hangar. This is the Murray cup. That looks pretty awesome, which I'll never be doing, but my friend will be. What is with my guy? Oh my goodness, my guy is freaking out, ladies and gentlemen. Holy cow. Just a couple more posters. I have my cot that's up there. Like I said, this lamp that I got was extremely disappointing. I know it's just a decoration, but holy cow. Good lord, the mannequin scared the crap out of me. Who's that in my hangar? Here's the 350R, which I own. That's pretty much the only reason I have it in there, since I don't have it in this hangar. I'll have a picture of it. And the variant constellations. How wonderful. There's the old Aquila. I do like the Aquila. I've been really struggling. I think I may buy another constellation, but I don't know. Here's my guy with my cool optics. Storage for extra clothes, I guess. A cot that you can't lay in, which I don't understand why you can't lay in that. And that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Thanks for stopping by, or thanks for tolerating it for a second time. At least I think it's going to look better and sound better. That's the most important thing. If you have any comments, please, if you have any answers that you know of, or maybe your opinions about what I've said in this video, please do so. The whole, like and dislike thing I could really care less about, but if you want to, that's fine. So this is Mr. Draindock signing off with his, I guess, officially second video, but I consider this still my first as a redo. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and we'll make another video down the road. Thanks a lot. Take care now. Bye-bye.